Hey there, and welcome to another edition of the Free Training Day Tuesday. And this month we're talking about habits, all the types of habits and routines that we create. And so tonight we're talking about evening routines. My name is Melissa Kirkpatrick. I am a business and life coach that I'm helping you to scale your business, your life, your mind, your momentum, so that you can get to that next level or version in your life and live your best life now. So let's get into it. Let's talk about those evening routines. Last week we talked about the morning routine, so be sure to catch that replay. But tonight it's about what do you do in order to set yourself up for the habit or routine that's going to serve you best in the evenings. So I've got some notes over here that I want to look at and share with you, but some of the things that come up with is first, you identify your routine. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. I know that there's top leaders out there that say they make their bed and they go to bed at a certain time and they have this routine and schedule, but you get to make that decision. Give yourself the opportunity to make choices, and remember, you can change those choices as well. The other thing is make it work for you. What are the things that are going to work for you best? And what are the cues or the triggers that's going to get you to do the next thing? So if you think about it in the morning, maybe you get out of bed, you go right to the shower, or you brush your teeth, or you use the bathroom. All those are routines and habits that you do every day without fail. They may not always go in that order, but for the most part, they do. So in the evening, the same thing. What's going to be the cue? I think about taking off makeup at the end of the night. I always get into bed and go, oh, I didn't take my makeup off. And my skincare professional says, do it when you're done with your day, in the sense of you've eaten dinner, you're settling in to watch television, go take it off then. Then you don't have to worry about it because you're not planning to go back out. But I don't think like that. But again, that's one of those cues. When do you do the things that you do? What's going to set you up for that? The other thing is make it your own. So if someone says use journaling or use a guided meditation or do prayer or whatever that is that will, like relax, calm you down, make it your own. What does that look like? Maybe you have a special notebook. Maybe you use a dry erase board. Maybe you do something that makes it unique to you. Maybe you use construction paper, colorful paper, Post-it notes. Like that's what I like to do. Make it your own. What does that look like? Design your own way of tracking what you're doing. The other thing is reduce your decisions. So when you start this evening routine, figure out one or two things that you would really like to implement. Maybe it's just getting to bed at a certain time. Maybe you want to start getting to bed at 10 o'clock and you've been staying up till 11. So each night, move that number back. So at 11, then 10:55, and then 10:45, like move it in increments like that. But reduce the decision. So it's not like, okay, I'm going to go to bed at this time. I'm going to do my meditation. I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth. I'm going to make my bed before I get into the bed or whatever. Like make it smaller decisions so that you're not overstimulating your thoughts and your ideas. Let's see. The other thing is, let's talk about technology. So evening routines, we're maybe guilty of going in with our phone and reading there, or listening to Audible, or maybe you listen to music, or you're reading emails, or you're in the social media. If that's the case, not saying you can't do that at your evening routine, just allow yourself a time frame. How much time are you going to allow to be able to be on social media so that you can really start shutting down and getting calm for the evening? So that would be something to think about, limiting the amount of time instead of all of a sudden an hour has passed and you didn't realize. I like to set the timer on my television for an hour. So if I'm still awake when it goes off, I know that a whole hour has gone by. But oftentimes I'm already asleep before that timer goes off. Don't freak out if you miss a day. That's the other thing. Sometimes we beat ourselves up and clubs ourselves over the head. It didn't work, so I'm not going to do it ever again. Well, don't be like that. Give yourself, again, grace. Allow that to be okay that you missed one night doing the things that you set up to do. And taking my makeup off at the end of the night, or maybe brushing my teeth. Like, it's okay to do that. No one's judging you on this. No one's scoring you on this. We're just trying to help you create a routine so your evenings don't feel chaotic. And then plan your next morning the night before. This is really one of the big changers for me. Is one of the things I do at night is I write down my 3 gratitudes for the day, whatever that might look like. It might be running water, electricity, could be going to my granddaughter's sporting events, could be I had dinner with a friend, could be out of the blue phone call. So I write down 3, the first 3 that come to mind. Don't have to write any more than that. Now I may think about them, but I don't write them down. And then I then I think of 3 things that I need to do the next day that are really, really important. It could be making a phone call. It could be sending out an email. It could be going in and looking at someone's social media or a client call. Like, I know what the 3 top priorities are. Now, again, there may be 10 priorities, but I'm only going to focus on those top 3 that first thing in the morning. I want to make sure I get those off my to-do list. And then the other thing is giving yourself permission to know that you are creating your life by design, and that everything that you do in a forward motion, do it with that higher vibration of energy, that excitement, so that you feel the juiciness of it, that this goodness is going to come from it, and expect that to be so. If you get interrupted by things, just wonder, stay curious. Like, well, that's interesting that I wasn't able to follow my routine. Only one night I was able to do that, or 2 nights, and then I haven't done it in a while. Maybe you revisit it again. Maybe you reformat it, but just look for ways that you can really start tracking your progress. What's really working well? What's not working well? What could I do differently? One of the books I'm reading, I mentioned before, is Many Habits. And it's just, starting out with doing that one small change so that you can add into more changes or make it go longer. So the guy in this book talks about doing 1 push-up and how it led to this whole change in his behavior and getting himself healthy and fit and that type of thing. But you do the 1 push-up and it's like, you don't have to do any more. That's it. And you feel good about it. But what if you could do 2? Would you go ahead and do the second one? Maybe, but you don't have to. So it's really practicing how you can show up for yourself, how you can be able to commit to something, but not necessarily having to go all in to where maybe that's what you used to do, and that you fail with that way of doing something. So track your progress, see what's working for you, adjust accordingly. Think about those things at the end of the night. When are you going to start? Maybe at 8:30 you start winding down. Maybe at 9 o'clock you start winding down. What time would you like to get to bed? How many hours of sleep would you like to have? And again, it's just you control the situation. You control the outcome. No one is grading you on this, as I said. It's just about helping you to feel more calm and relaxed so that you can go into the sleep state and the dream state without feeling like you're not getting a good night's rest and that you struggle to get out of bed in the morning and that you're hitting the snooze 5 and 6 times. It's about you getting into the way that your mind can start unplugging. And then as you unplug, then you're in this state of calmness. And then from that calmness, you can really start having this good night's sleep and maybe some amazing dreams. And then you might even get some inspired thoughts in your dreams or ideas that might come along, ways that you could do things differently. So that's what I offer you today in evening routines. Would love to hear if there's any evening routine that maybe I missed or something you want to share. Be sure to put those in the comments. Otherwise, I will look forward to talking to you again next week on these Free Training Tuesdays. But for now, that's all. Have a good night. Bye.